Good morning. We're back from Florida. Sorry, Mike changed the settings on my camera, and I'm gonna be pretty white and look like my boy Powder.
Good movie.
Powder was good. So this video is an how do you say that? Informative.
Infotainment.
Nope, not infotainment. That's like a system. I'm really white. I could definitely control things with my electric hands. You guys got to see fucking Powder. But I'm gonna leave it because I like the way it looks and it doesn't like go crazy dark. Let's see how it looks under a car. Let me see. Oh yeah, this is what we want, boys. I'm sorry that you have to. Here, I'll just chill under the car so that I'm not super white. There you go. So I'm hiding in the shade. Good morning. What you just heard is my Z startup, if you heard that. I can't wait to go over that car for you and hate on everything about it, but I got something else to hate on. This video is why you shouldn't stance your car, which I feel like is obvious, but people are still doing it. So what we have here is a work equip that our boy DJ totaled. Look at that. Look at that lip. We're driving through the city, and I'll put the clip here.
That's not.
In Bronx, middle of Bronx, just about.
How does it look?
Like it has 50 degrees of negative
Is it the
camber.
wheel or an arm?
Some suspension component. It's dunking as fuck. Easy.
I'm fucking stuck. This is a shit show, dude.
Cool stance.
You gonna keep your wheel straight,
Yeah, straighten your wheel.
and then we're gonna push you side. All right, slow down, slow down, slow down. Go right in front, right there.
Look at this fucking parking lot.
What a stupid fucking car. What is this?
Upper.
Upper, he broke the shock.
That fucking thing.
Whoa.
Did you hit that hole?
Yeah,
You hit that hole?
Yeah,
You did
but
too?
yeah,
Load it up.
Damn, look at your wheel.
everybody got it. They got the best of these though.
Well, that wheel's
The lip's bent. Still holding air though.
I mean, I got a jacket shit, but this parking lot sucks.
Yeah, but he's kind of fucking.
So, we made it to the Bronx. 60 miles, and I don't know if Aunt showed
Camber
this.
gang, Johnny.
Look at that. Look at that fucking
What,
wheel.
riding with Rudnick?
Oh my god.
What'd you do?
I'm sorry. He spilt the Red Bull all over the seat. You fucking idiot. Knuckle?
His knuckle snapped in half, like where the ball joint on the upper connects. So the ball joint didn't break. The knuckle sheared the casting. So it's kind of a miracle that Donnie made it off the highway. You're like one bump away from just going in the wall.
Really? You think it could
Because
like...
if it like wedged it backwards, it would have
throw it on the
just
front
towed
tire.
in.
Yeah, the boys are coming to save your ass.
Tommy came through with the toe. Thank you, Tommy.
And he hit a fucking pothole from hell. The worst pothole I've ever seen. I hit it. My shit survived. DJ's car got broke. And the forces that pothole put on this car broke what we believe to be this part of the knuckle. So DJ got a replacement. We're gonna have Josh throw it in for our boy so he can get this car the fuck out of here as soon as possible. But you shouldn't stance your car. You just shouldn't do it. And this is the perfect example why. It's got the wheel sitting at negative 72 degree camber. He got lucky that when it broke, it went inward and not outward and pushed through the fender and sent him into a wall. But this is dumb. DJ, learn something from your own mistakes. Anyway, car's here. Josh's gonna swap that knuckle. And we're gonna go over the damage of my Z from the worst ride of my whole life. Second reason you shouldn't stance your car is because we can't get it on a fucking jack. Can't get it on a fucking jack. I have those ramps.
Yeah.
You know those like Cusco ramps? I don't know if that will help you.
The problem is this bumper shit. Like, this was cool when I was like 16.
Take the bumper off.
This is goddamn annoying. Well, it's all mounted underneath. That's why I couldn't do it in the parking lot.
He took the bumper off. DJ did not put that on correctly.
There's screws in the suction. I can see through the
Oh, in the like tray?
that go across the bottom with that lip. Because the lip, I think, would flap behind it.
Why don't you jack up the rear?
Yep.
Jack up the rear next to the exhaust and get it up high enough that you can put a jack under the side.
That's what I try to do with that, because the only place you can jack's the tow hook on the other side, which makes this side lower.
There should be one on either side. There should be a jack point.
Okay.
There's not a tow hook, but there's a flat spot.
Okay.
Because I jacked my car up by it.
This exhaust too is bigger than yours.
It's dumber too.
It goes around, it's like, we can pick it up with the forklift.
Yeah, let's just fork it. Don't spoon it. Fork it.
Put a strap on the strut brace and just lift the car up.
Put a strap on the wheel and do it like they lift cars onto like planes and shit.
Oh, yeah.
You shouldn't stance your car, part 3. Because you're a dumb fuck. That's why. See? Remember? Remember? This is what you don't do or want to happen. So Josh already got that thing swapped. We're trying to get this piece of shit out. Severed his wheel speed sensor. DJ, you have to spend a couple bucks. I know you're not good for it. And look, the dude has wheel spacers on as if those aren't fucking spacing.
The lug nuts weren't tight.
What's that?
The lug nuts weren't tight.
Give me a scale of 1 to 10. How tight?
Like
4?
like a 3.
3 or 4? You're an idiot, DJ.
Because like one of them was, and as soon as I barely touched the trigger on like a medium setting, it just right off.
It just popped
There
off.
wasn't like and then off.
Imagine that wheel fell off on him.
I mean, there would have been any worse, really.
It would have been more funny for me. Anyway, don't stance your cars, boys. Just like that, it's pretty much all together. He's got to put the tie rod on. The alignment shouldn't really change much, right?
Yeah, hopefully not.
So
Yeah, we're there.
if we learned anything, boys, it's don't do this. Oh, it's got extended studs?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
The hub's fucked.
Is it?
Yeah, when you rotate it, it's just crunchy.
Just
It's
crunchy.
Like yours were when you were
Yeah. So don't stance your shit. We'll save this for DJ. He can throw it out. But now, when Josh's done with this, we're going to pull it out, pull my Z in, and I'll go over all the damage. My car did not fare well. We had 2 very catastrophic issues with the car on the ride home. Luckily, me and Murr overcame. We got the car home. I'll explain it when I get it inside, but it was pretty miserable. All right, so here's the Z. We had quite the fun. So the first thing that Josh noticed, and that happened to me, well, the bumper fell off, which is not a big deal. But somewhere in Virginia, I blew an axle to smithereens, inner, outer. Did you see what I had to do?
Like I saw that you threw it in the can.
I unbolted the 14 mils. I kept them there in the door because we're hardware boys. I took the axle, ripped it out because it was shredded at the hub, threw it in the garbage. Back on the street!
You want to like not have your bearing come apart.
I didn't want the wheel bearing or the
So you
diff.
drove home on one axle.
I drove home on one axle. What would happen is I'd hit the gas, the car will pull to the left like crazy. I've never felt anything like it. I'd let off the gas, jump off the gas, it would pull to the right crazy hard. So I think when I hit that tractor trailer tire or truck tire, I might have tweaked something on the right side because it was steering with that wheel. And I don't think just having one axle should pull you like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I haven't ever done that.
Right.
I mean,
No one should ever do that.
It makes sense in a way that it would do that.
It makes sense, but it's also a little...
Plus,
It was too much.
You have no way to alternate wheel speed with your diff because you're locked anyway.
It was just too much how it would pull.
Yeah.
I would think it would like maybe give me a little pull. This was like shooting me into the woods.
Right.
So axle's out. Somewhere in New York City, the exhaust started dragging. I've had nothing but problems with this exhaust. Ben, come here. I got a job for you. I've had nothing but problems with this exhaust. It's like one of the most expensive exhausts for the car. Came on the car, but I want to see what Ben thinks about fixing it for me.
Oh, that's fucked. It's already fucked.
Dude, just fix it. No, fabricate yourself out of this one.
Flat.
So to give you an idea, to get this off the car, I backed this into a curb a couple times. Anyway, I want to keep the tips.
You can keep those.
I want to keep the tips, and I want to create an exhaust out of this that you fabricate that's tucked up as high as we can. Because this thing's junk, but the tips are cool, and so are these little like extra mufflers. We'll try to like keep these too.
Let's make it oval here.
I was thinking that. What do you think about keeping these little guys?
Yeah, we could do that. We just cut
Those
them
are
off.
fine. Yep. So exhaust fell off. I had to cut the hangers with my knife. Shout out Benchmade. Really? They don't support our troops? Motherfuckers. So I had to cut it with my knife and pull the exhaust off. It was a nightmare. Then we had to drive an hour home with no exhaust. And I don't know if you ever heard a Z with no exhaust. Josh, how fun was it just to drive it into the shop?
It was very annoying.
Imagine driving an hour at highway speeds.
So there was a guy when I lived in Salt Lake. Short, long story. So he had a 4-door G35. There's a local guy that did exhaust. Shout out Walter. He straight piped the entire car. Okay, at night I lived up on the hill, down in like a basin. I could hear him getting on the freeway, driving through most of the valley at night. That's how
insane.
loud it was. No,
Dude, my ears felt like they were bleeding.
Yeah.
So we did a 1,200-mile trip in the Recaro seats, which I do love the seats, but it was rough getting in and out. I need a quick release to get in and out of the car, and I don't have one. It was pretty much the most miserable trip of my life, I'll say. Towards the end especially. And then I slept in the beginning because Murr was driving, but that didn't last long. Shout out AEM. I was getting a little bit better gas mileage on the way down there, and the only thing I can imagine is because of my cold air intakes.
I love the little boxes.
It's a cool kit. Yeah, so this is an AEM kit I put on in Florida. It's plastic. It has little air box like covers. Shout out AEM for hooking us up with that. I was really stoked, and I got better gas mileage. So all the rumors are true. I don't know if it created any power because I can't say it did without dynoing it, but it did give me better gas mileage. I got about 1.5, 2 miles per gallon better on the way home.
I like the black hose things.
Yeah, the whole thing is really,
That's really cool.
It's a nice kit. The other thing was just kind of like messy, and it's super. It took me in Filmer like 35 minutes to install it, and it came with all the pieces for like those and stuff. Yeah. So it was pretty cool.
You use the stickers.
I put them on. I'll put them in the engine bay. Shout out. Anyway, so it was miserable. I hated my life. The FDF kit felt great on the highway until the thing happened. I understand when you add an angle kit, you add steering ratio. It makes the car twitchier because you've quickened the rack. The SPL arms did flawlessly. The HKS coilovers were fine. They were great. Besides that, the bumper barely survived, front and rear. This side has not come off from here over. Never been moved.
That's so crazy.
This thing was bent like a barn door.
When I watched that video, I could like feel it in my soul.
Dude, and then the front, fucked the fenders a little bit from just drifting and hitting bumps. Tires fared well, but they got a little shred dogged. And I just got to figure out a different way to attach it because they attach with these new clips that just like, that's it. And if you just touch them, it pops out. It's good for cars that don't get touched. But this thing gets touched like Rudnick in church. Maybe we'll edit that out, I don't know. But anyway, so if we learned anything from this video, don't stance your 370Z. Don't stance anything. It's fucking dumb. It sucks. Don't do it. And make sure your car is dialed before you go on a 1,200-mile trip with a drift car that you beat on the day before. I didn't even nut and bolt check this thing before I left, which is super scary. Every time something would fall down, I would be concerned that it was a suspension arm. And I just found out I broke my cell phone. Anyway, I've got to go. Got to take this call and work on this Z. Don't stance your Z. DJ, you're an idiot. See you guys tomorrow.
Yo. Cut it. Cut.